Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Screw Kenny, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them tendies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. One day, very soon, gonna wake up on the moon. Brand new yacht and a McDonald's in my living room. Bright yellow Lamborghini, 50-meter swimming pool. Champagne every day, ain't fam, what you do? Wanna hang, wanna chill? Oh, you got a mansion too? Oh, that's right, held on tight, jack titties every night. We was in way back when they tried to chop it down to 10. And she couldn't comprehend, ace was strong until the end. Now let's retell it, citadel that you sweating. Had enough of these felons, but the apes we rebelling. Cause we never be selling till we send it to heaven. Now we be out here yelling, hey, screw you, Kenny. Bought my wife a minivan to share with the boyfriend, but I pull up in the Benz, plate saying olive crayons. Going on an airplane, don't think we'll be back again. Celebrating every day like it's your birthday. Screw Kenny, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them tendies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Getting them tendies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Today's expectation, probably more manipulation. FUD, a creation of a crooked operation. Bought more while it was low, got more dips than Trader Joe's. Oh, you thought that we'd let go? What the hell you take us for? If you spend your last dollar on bananas while living in squalor, we don't claim to be scholars. We the smooth brain dummies and we never stood taller. Yeah, we do this for love and we do this for honor. A follower 11 ain't got nothing on us. We the planet of the apes and in MOS we trust. MOASS, oh hell yes. Gonna send it into space, go fire up the jets. Done my DD, call me Elton John, Rocket Man. This is the way, gonna be gorillionaires. Ground control to Major Tom, we about to have liftoff. Call us Neil Armstrong, gonna keep holding on. Screw Kenny, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them tendies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Screw Kenny, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them tendies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon.
Moon gang. Good morning. Happy Monday, October 4th. Welcome back to what is this? Episode 96 of Dumb Money with me, Matt, and you amazing, beautiful ape. I hope you're having a phenomenal Monday morning, afternoon, evening. I have no clue where you are, but I hope you're having an absolutely great one. Let me just get this adjusted. So my little robotic arm here. Folks, what is this? Matt Kohrs turns his lights on at night and walks slowly up the stairs. Barry, I love it. I love the enthusiasm. Folks, we have so much to talk about today. So much to really fit in to, I guess, pre-market. I have 27 minutes. I am on the clock. Let's see if I can cover everything that we need to cover. Lots to go over. We're starting off the new fiscal quarter. We're getting to the end of the year, and there's a lot of movement across a lot of stocks, politics, government, market makers, so much going on. I even have my own life update that I need to share with you about what's going on with the Moon Gang and everything like that. So with all that being said, let's put me on the clock. Let's see if we could get it all done in time. All right, 5 things to know before the market opens on today, Monday, October 4th. Dow futures dropped after starting October with a strong rally. Once again, as you're about to see, Evergrande is back in the situation. But before this, U.S. trade rep to vow to enforce phase one deal with China. Washington must enforce the U.S.-China phase one trade agreement, and it will raise broader policy concerns with Beijing. The top trade advisor would announce that Beijing has not complied with the phase one deal that was reached under former President Donald Trump's administration. So this is important because, well, yes, there's the Evergrande situation, which I'm about to talk about. But whenever people are asking me about various ADSs such as Neo, JD, Alibaba, it does come into play the political tensions between the US and China. We're talking about two world powers, and right here, hopefully these tensions kind of subside. It seems like Evergrande was out of our life, but just like a toxic ex-girlfriend, once again, back in our lives. Troubled Evergrande set to raise more cash from partial sale. Indebted developer China Evergrande Group is set to sell all of its stake in its property services unit, the second asset sale in as many weeks as the liquidity squeezed Chinese real estate giant scrambles to raise cash. They owe a lot of money. We're talking in excess of $100 million in interest payments. They are scrambling to try to take care of it. In fact, as we're going to dive into a little bit more of the details. So on the Asian markets, they're trading basically when we're all asleep, getting like giddy for AMC to open up in the morning. They stopped the trading. It was halted on the Asian markets a couple hours ago. Last week, Evergrande said it will sell 1.5 billion stake in Shenzhen Bank to a state-owned asset management firm. But here's the real details you need to know. Shares in both Evergrande and its management arm, Evergrande Property Services Group, were halted in Hong Kong on Monday. Like I said a couple hours ago, the subsidiary said that the halt was pending an announcement concerning inside information and a possible general offer for the shares of the company. And this is coming from the rival developer Hobson Development Holdings. It said Monday that its shares were halted pending an announcement about a transaction involving a Hong Kong listed target company, which it didn't name. A lot of people are assuming Hobson trying to buy out all of or a portion of Evergrande, what's going on there. But I'm seeing a lot of different numbers. So I just showed you right here, they talked about 1.5 billion. I saw people talking about 2.1 or 2.3 billion. Other people were saying, well, right here, Evergrande roughly worth 7 billion. Some people were saying that it was a $5 billion like equity buyout. So it looks like we are waiting for more details on the exact numbers of what is and isn't happening. But I just want to let you know, because right here, this whole Evergrande debacle of basically how much money they owe. I mean, it's over $300 billion in debt. If they go down, it could be very, very bad. I mean, like I said, the interest payments alone are over $100 million. So it's not Evergrande like as an individual company, it's the amount of people that they own money to. If they go under, are all these other companies going to go under? So with this, the fact that Evergrande is in the situation where it's attempting to sell a portion of it, it tells me that they're not going down without a fight. It seems like they're like, okay, they're trying to do what they can to reestablish that and reposition themselves as a company, maybe sell off this arm of the business, pay off this debt, and keep going. It does not seem like they're throwing in the towel by any means. So that's kind of what's going on. Stocks making the biggest moves this morning. The one that I find most interesting is Tesla. And right here, basically, they just absolutely destroyed it on their most recent vehicle deliveries. Tesla shares rose 3% in the pre-market after the company announced it delivered 241,300 vehicles during the third quarter, its most ever for a quarter, and a 73% increase over the same quarter a year ago. But let me reiterate, it's most ever for a quarter. So Tesla, in terms of vehicle deliveries, it is currently setting some new records, and it is very much up in pre-market, currently trading at 797. Nice gap up by 2.84%. Let's see if it can crack over that key psychological level of 800. It hasn't been over 800 in a hot minute, but I think on the news of this, like the excitement behind it, I think it's a pretty good shot that we at least see 800 today. Little side story. Last week we saw that Moderna, Novavax, and I even think Pfizer took a bit of a hit. Could continue, and it's all because of Merck. They successfully late-stage trial for a new antiviral pill, so instead of people getting poked, they can take this pill. So obviously the increase in competition is going to go, like, it's good for Merck, which trades under the ticker MRK, not the best for Moderna, not the best for Novavax or any of these people who've been creating vaccines in the past. So that's kind of your overview of what's going on, but now I do want to talk specifically about some great AMC news. Venom, Let There Be Carnage snares highest box office opening of the pandemic era with a $90.1 million haul. Woo-wee. That is a pretty penny. Sony's Venom, Let There Be Carnage tallied an estimated 90.1 million in ticket sales domestically over the weekend, the best box office haul since the COVID-19 outbreak began. Marvel's Black Widow was the previous record holder after snaring 80 million during its July debut. So, this is kind of interesting. So back to back, we're seeing crazy good numbers in the box office. We're talking Black Widow, and really before that, there was even Quiet Place 2 was doing well. We have Free Guy scattered in there, but the big name ones are Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and then now Venom. So 3 huge ones with other ones scattered in there that all have pretty impressive numbers. Right here, we have some more info. Venom, Let There Be Carnage also outpaced the first Venom film, which garnered 80.3 million over the course of its opening weekend when it was released in 2018. So the reason I want to bring this up to you is because we're now beating records that have nothing to do with the pandemic at all. The first Venom movie, 2018, this new Venom beat it, which is, in my eyes, very, very good. It also is the second highest October opening in cinematic history, just behind Joker, which generated 96.2 million in 2019, according to data from Comscore. So right there, like we're talking about records and levels of income for the theatrical release that have nothing to do with the pandemic. The second highest ever in October, right behind Joker, which was a huge release. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It has become clear, however, that the dual release has led to the cannibalization of movie theater ticket sales. While some studios are still utilizing the simultaneous in-theater and streaming debuts for films, the majority have returned to an exclusive theatrical window. Why? Because that's what people want, and that's where the money's at. IMAX also saw its biggest global office weekend since December 2019 and recorded its best October weekend ever, the company reported on Sunday. Crazy, and on top of that, we actually even have a report from AMC right here. They have another record-breaking attendance over the weekend of 3.9 million. That is purely insane. So between AMC, IMAX, clearly whoever said that going to the movies for that theatrical experience was a dead cat, they were just simply wrong. There's no way it's a dead cat because we're breaking records that don't even, yes, some of these have the caveat of like, oh, since COVID, but these other ones are like, no, this is just now a flat out record. So the trend of this business sector is clearly on the up and up and up, but it really does not stop there. This is from the CEO of AMC, Adam Aron. James Bond's No Time to Die smashes ticket sale records across the Atlantic. In the UK, Saturday ticket sales set a new one-day record for any Bond movie ever, dating back to 1962, highest Bond day in 59 years. To the this is funny. He's basically just poking at, I don't know, I guess I could say it. He's basically, to all these people who were predicting the demise of the theatrical experience, he's hopping on with, I don't know if it actually got trending, but a lot of people are saying choke on that. Absolutely hilarious. Even Adam Aron's joining the party on that one. So that's your quick overview of what's going on with Evergrande, why Tesla's moving, a little bit of COVID talk, AMC absolutely crushing it over the weekend as a business. So with that kind of out of the way, I think we have a little bit more foundation of like what really is or isn't going on. I do want to talk a little bit about what I've been discussing a lot recently, it feels, but also it does relate to the title of this particular stream. This is in no way a surprise to any of you listening, but obviously like Wall Street corruption, political corruption, all forms of corruption are continuing. And I feel a special duty to use my platform to express to everyone what I perceive to be truly going on. So there's a good chance that you've already seen this court document. This was the hot topic of last week. If you go to page 7 and then come down to paragraph 12, Robinhood Securities president and COO, Slimy Jim here, who Tenet points to as making the ultimate call to position close only, stopping the buying, says in an internal chat on the 26th, right before they were all PCO'd, I sold my AMC today. FYI, tomorrow morning we are moving GME to 100%, so you are aware. I don't know if it's legally insider trading, but what you did is it's illegal still. I just don't know the fancy name for it. But you can't be trading on this type of information that's not public, especially when you're the one who's making these decisions. A lot of people pointing this out, and it seemed weird. I saw that some mainstream media was picking up this story, and like some people, sorry Charlie there, was trying to defend him. They're like, well, he didn't even make that much. It's like, that's crazy. It doesn't matter if you're a shitty trader or not. The issue is that you did something with information that wasn't public and you were attempting to benefit off of it. Just because you suck at it doesn't make it any less illegal. If you're attempting to rob a bank and you're not successful at it, well, you still attempted to rob a bank. It doesn't matter if you made out with money or not that much money. They're like, well, he robbed the bank, but he left that one safe open. Like, he didn't even take that money. Like, what kind of lunatic argument is that? If you rob the bank, you rob the bank. It doesn't matter how much money you actually took with you. Insane. Over the weekend, I spent a lot of time reaching out to people who just know more about this world than I do. And I was like, hang on, like, I need to kind of get into this and really sink my own teeth, my own claws into like some of this corruption so I can articulate this all better to you. And in doing so, there's a lot of things that I want to cover, but one super interesting thing I want to cover with all you. So Alex Gurko, if you look into him, I believe he's the owner, operator, president, CEO, some fancy schmancy title of a small baby market maker. So the way I've been talking about this duopoly of Citadel Securities and Virtu, those are 1 and 2, with Citadel Securities being numero uno. And this guy, before when Adam Aaron was talking about going across the Atlantic, Alex Gurko, I believe he's based over in the UK, and he's kind of running one of these market makers who he's saying, hang on, we need to be more competitive. There needs to be more market makers out there. It's not good that we have essentially a duopoly. Anyway, I have no horse in this funny race, but my guess is that horse N1 decided that eating more than 50% of the hay is not cool for optics of competition. This is very interesting. So before, when we talked about a monopoly, a duopoly, a lot of those things are illegal. You cannot control a complete business sector. Monopolies are illegal. And in fact, there's very few left in this world. And it gets into that legal gray area of like, okay, is this person a monopoly? Is this person not a monopoly? What about, like, there's a lot of money being spent every single year, paying off a lot of lawyers for people to argue, are they or are they not a monopoly? But this is all in reference to a tweet by Tyler here. This is very, very interesting chart. Something happened in late May with Citadel. What was it, and did it relate to Robinhood's stunning loss of equity payment for order flow revenues in Q2? I want this chart now for options and crypto. Very interesting. So remember, non-ATS means non-dark pool, but it's still off exchange. It's still OTC, as in market maker volume. We have exchange trading, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, IEX. Then we have off exchange. Off exchange is one of two things: market makers or dark pools. Dark pools are also called alternative trading systems, aka ATSs. With this, a lot of volume is trading. Most of the volume is traded by market makers, but we also do have some dark pool trading, which is ATSs. But anyway, remember back in very, very early June when AMC went haywire and I believe ran 96% in one day? Well, you see what's interesting? Right before that, you see what Citadel did here? You have this blue line that is Citadel, and this is the amount of trading volume, meme stock trading by venue. The blue is Citadel. Look at this. Right before the June explosion, Citadel was over 50%. Over 50%, you're starting to get into that monopolistic territory. Look at this. They unwound their percentage of handling meme stock trading. Look at this. This is crazy. You can't make this up. This happened mid-May. By the time they unwound it and dropped below 50%, you know what happened there? AMC went absolutely bananas. And then also, you know who picked up the lacking percentage is Virtu. This is one of those things that the enemy of your enemy, I guess, is your friend, or it's something along one of those fancy sayings that probably our father or grandfathers used to say. Citadel doesn't want Virtu to go away. They need them to keep it under. Citadel wants to operate right under the line of a monopoly. They don't want to take over the entire sector because it's too much regulation. You're going to get sued to kingdom come. They want some other person to be out there just so they can operate right under 50. They were under 50. They got over 50. They then, as we know from Robinhood's Q2 results, I believe, maybe Q3, one of the most recent fiscal filings, their payment for order flow income dropped. And you know when it also dropped? With Citadel dropping its own, really, its volume, the volume that it was handling. This is insane. And I need to make a standalone video to better articulate what this actually means. But basically, Citadel, very, very close. Monopoly, monopoly, monopoly. Oops, we can't do that. Let's cut down our volume. Let's give it over to Virtu. Robinhood's payment for order flow revenue itself as a company drops. Right after that, AMC shoots up, goes absolutely bonkers. This is insane. This is absolutely ridiculous. And just so you know, the source of this, obviously, Bloomberg, FINRA, these are all legitimate numbers. This isn't just some like BS. And I think it's absolutely hilarious that Alex, one of these, basically, he's attempting to be more of a competitive. Market makers are good. We don't want to get rid of market makers. We want to get rid of the monopoly, the duopoly of market makers. We want more open competition without people strong-arming other, I guess, people into crappy decisions and things of that nature. I think it's absolutely hilarious. I think both of these people are worth a follow. But once again, with this, I do believe I need to make a standalone video. But this, I don't know how no one's talked about this yet. At all. This community needs to dive into this because these numbers, these metrics, this graph, to me, this is very indicative of crazy things going on. But hang on. Matt, I hear about Robinhood. I hear about Citadel. I hear about all this stuff. And I'm here to report that the corruption does not stop there, folks. This handsome looking fella, his name is Richard Clarida, I believe. He's part of the Fed. Now let's play a game. What do Kaplan, Rosengreen, Clarida, and Powell all have together? Well, they're all part of the Fed. But that's not it. If we're looking at like this matching game of like, hey, where do all these people like really overlap with each other? It's not the fact that they're just all part of the Fed. They're all part of the Fed. All those people I just named, once again, Kaplan, Rosengreen, Clarida, and Powell, part of the Fed. They're also what I would say part of a very fancy schmancy, like, you know, black tie event type of insider trading. So all of these people, with this guy being like one of the most egregious abusers of it, let's rewind a little bit. Early March. Here, let me pull up a little chart for you right here. Let's see what actually happened because this information's coming out. Early March. Nope, of this year. Hang on. Sorry, wrong year, wrong calendar year.
Welcome to the
Let's rewind all the way to the March of 2020. So in early March, mid-March, you could see that we were selling. And then kind of near the end of March, it started to pop. Do you know what Mr. Dick here did? Well, this guy, right in this time period, and like this is all tracked, this is all public, he ended up selling his bonds right before they cut interest rates, which is an optimal move. That's a profitable move. But then he made an even better move by taking all that money, and I'm talking roughly $1 to $5 million. He sold all of his bonds. Interest rates got cut because it was his decision. Remember, the Fed is the body that decides when we're going to cut interest rates. So he used his position knowing they're about to cut interest rates, sold all of his bonds, bought stocks. You know what happened a couple weeks later? We started ripping. So right here, I mean, this is Nancy Pelosi level stuff. Like, he's the one who gets to make the decision. You sell all your bonds. A week later, you cut interest rates. A couple weeks after that, you propose one of the most insane unlimited quantitative easing policies ever, which shoots the stock market from 218 all the way up to 454. Insane. Just another, like I said, a black tie event, a penguin tuxedo type event of insider trading. But clearly this clown, I need to put a big nose on this guy. Just, you can't do that bullshit. Like, you are 100% using your position to line your own pockets. And he's not the only one. It seems like a lot of people within the Fed have been a part of this. But hang on. Unfortunately, there's even more. Matt, we're talking about Robinhood. Matt, we're talking about Citadel. Matt, we're now talking about the U.S. Federal Reserve. Well, folks, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it gets even more insane. If you were checking out things over the weekend on Twitter, you probably heard about the Pandora Papers. Biggest ever leak of offshore data exposes financial secrets of rich and powerful. I'm talking 100 billionaires, 30 world leaders, and 30 public officials. This was gigantic. A report of nearly 12 million leaked documents published on Sunday, yesterday, by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Ooh, that sounds fancy. Which involves 600 journalists from 150 media outlets in 117 countries, is being dubbed the Pandora Papers. The files allegedly expose the secret financial affairs of a range of global figures, including 35 current and former world leaders and more than 330 politicians and public officials in 91 countries and territories, according to the ICIJ. I know this isn't going to be surprising to everyone. You're probably just like, oh no, like this is what I assumed was true all along. But now it's kind of interesting that there's these 12 million leaked documents. This is very, very early. It was released yesterday. I'm sure it's going to take a lot of time to kind of comb through all this and start connecting all of it. But we're talking many, many politicians, many, many different countries, many, many rich people, rock stars, celebrities, like across it's the entire gambit of people who have money, power, and influence. Many of them, high percentage of them, have been basically called out in this Pandora Papers leak. This is insane. It's very, very new, and there's gonna be development on it. It's so new, but as people start combing through all these documents and like control effing and searching for the names of the people who they care about, there's going to be some probably pretty horrific gems uncovered. But of course, just so you know, surprise, surprise, all these national leaders are saying this is false and fake and not real. But duh, that's of course what they're going to say. But I'm very interested to see what this becomes. There are already a couple interesting like intro videos of what this Pandora Papers is, like already on YouTube if you want to check that out. But nothing yet of like, oh, check out this page. It's currently developing right now. The story is like 100% developing in front of us, but check that out. Pandora Papers, something interesting. As I find out more and more, I'm more than happy to kind of give you the rundown of what is and isn't going on. So very quickly with AMC and GME, just so you know, AMC short interest 20.45%, utilization 85%, shares on loan 113 million. In terms of GME, the short interest continuing to go higher, 15.5%, utilization 38%, and shares on loan now of 9 million. So we're seeing both of their short interest shares on loan go up on both of these meme stocks. They're going higher and higher and higher, which is just indicative to me that the short interest has not dried up. I think Rich Greenfield said that, but like the data is actually the opposite, and we're seeing record high numbers for AMC in terms of the bearish bet against it. And GME is not at its record numbers, but over the past, I would say 6 weeks, been going upward. It kind of bottomed out at 12, and now we're making our way to over 15. So the bearish bet against it, the people who think AMC and GME will jump off a cliff, they're getting more confident and more money is flowing into a downward directional bet. So that's the wrap up on kind of everything. The corruption continues, the overall market, Evergrande, AMC, GME, all that stuff. As we get going at market open in a couple minutes, I will do some technicals for you, but very, very quickly, there's a good chance if you follow me on Twitter, you saw my tweet yesterday. Not this one. Ape announcement for the upcoming week. I will only be able to stream the morning session. I will still continue to post a daily video after market close related to Ape, stonks, and crypto. I'm reiterating this to you. I don't want to just be like, hey, I tweeted it and like you guys should have all read that. That's what's going on. I'm trying to be very, very upfront about what's going on. I have found in my social media career that absurd transparency is always the best policy. And here's what's going on with that. A lot of people were asking why. Well, here's why. I've been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking of, okay, what's the best for the community? And then also more on a personal note, things kind of came to a head of like, okay, there was just good timing this week where I have some personal things I need to take care of. But if I'm being honest, I can't just be like, oh, it's a personal thing. It's much more about what I see going on in the community and how I perceive the best way I can help said community. And it's a test drive for me. I've recently decided, and it's been in the works. I have some things going in the background, I've been taking a decent amount of my YouTube money, and I have been slowly and surely, and now like things are really aligning to invest a lot of it back into this channel. My entire goal is to provide the highest quality content I possibly can. And I want to help the community to the best of my ability. So here's what things are going to look like. I am going to slowly but surely, to the best of my ability, create a team around me and try to create a highly produced, highly informed, useful show every morning. I'm looking at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm looking at a 120-minute show where I go over corruption, where I go over meme stocks, where I go over crypto, when I bring people on for interviews, where I go over the most recent political trades. After that, then I am looking to every single day have a highly produced video upload, a VOD. So just those upload videos, a non-live stream. That's what my schedule is looking like. And I'm going to give it a run for this upcoming week and see how it goes. I feel like I am on the frontier of this type of stuff. Am I always going to make the right decisions? Probably not. But I felt like things were getting stagnant. Truly, I hear the feedback and I get it. You don't need me to stream all day for you to know that I'm not selling my AMC. There's a couple issues with that. I've told you, what's my criteria for selling my AMC stock? My criteria is we explode and all the shorts are forced to cover. That's what I'm looking for. If that doesn't happen, you have my word, I am not selling AMC, and the exact same argument goes for GME. I read the responses and I'm a little bit upset, I guess, in a certain sense that people, for some reason, I don't know how much to articulate to you. You should not be basing your trades and your decisions on mine. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a trading guru. I'm none of that stuff. I am not a perfect trader by any means. So if you think for some reason me streaming throughout the day is the thing that keeps you holding onto your shares, that's not a good situation that we should be in the slightest. You should have your positions because you like your positions. I'm here to educate and entertain to the best of my ability, and I'm currently in an attempt to focus on higher quality content. I think it's more beneficial because it gives me the time to look into things such as, what is Citadel doing? I need to get on the phone with people on Wall Street so I could better understand it. I need to start talking to politicians to understand some of this political corruption as it relates to Wall Street. All of this stuff takes time, and I am only one person, and just like you, I only have 24 hours in the day, and it's all about how can I most optimally use those 24 hours to truly make a change for us and for future generations. That is my goal. I 100%, it's a naive, lofty goal, but I also understand if I at least don't try, there's no possible way that I will ever be able to achieve it. I'm going out and I'm swinging. I don't know if I'm going to hit a home run, but I can tell you I am swinging for the fences on everything related to this. Obviously, if there's questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. But just to clarify to everyone, this has nothing to do with my AMC or GME position. I'm doing my best to help the community, to bolster the community by getting better answers. Because right now, as we've seen over the past 10 months, simply streaming it throughout the day, it's not the golden key. So it's insane to do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. So I'm attempting to do something new to see if I could get a better result for all of us involved. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. As things develop, we're obviously in a certain area of flux right now. And as it develops, I'm going to keep you posted. My whole goal is to be as transparent with this entire process as I possibly can be. But with it, also understand that also means that not every single thing I put out is going to be related to AMC and GME. I know people are going to lose their freaking minds because of it. And I'm sorry, like I don't understand your emotional response. I could empathize that I'm somehow upsetting you. I want to do more videos like, what's this corruption? I want to do videos explaining market makers and the interplaying between them. I want to do videos on other stocks. I want to do videos on crypto. I want to do videos interviewing politicians and people with expertise, knowledge on various things. There's so much more we can do with this community to learn and better your own financial life. I don't see why we wouldn't take advantage of it. That's my thoughts. Some people are going to be happy with it. Other people are not going to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to basically live in my own head. And I have a strong sense of a moral duty that I need to perform and create the best content I possibly can with all of you in mind. And that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. I hope you stick around for the journey, but I also understand that maybe I'm no longer your cup of tea. Thank you for your support thus far. And for those of you who want to continue on this journey with me, I very much appreciate that. And let's see how high this rocket can truly go. Obviously, that took me a bit long, so a little bit delayed. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is open. All right, let's get rocking. All right, now that I'm done with that, let's see if we could get some buying in here. All right, so out of the gate, AMC at $38, GME at $175. The Russell 2000 looking a bit heavy. The Russell 2000 did have a small gap down, and it looks like the bears are still in control. Based on the future session overnight and also what was happening in China, things were red, but obviously we're only 4 minutes into the day. Things could base and bounce right off of that. So let's see how this all plays out. And then as things calm down a bit, we have some other things planned to talk about. It's going to be a good session. Good session. Let's see if there's any crazy shorts happening right now in AMC and GME to get started. So they already borrowed $617,000 against AMC, and on GME they already borrowed $100,000 against it. All right, as the chart's developing, you guys know me. I don't like to make any trades within the first 15 minutes. I just like to see how things are based. It's okay. I've gotten out of positions very early. I felt like I'm okay. I like this gap up. I like this gap down. I'm going to get out. But to create a new position, I very, very much like to sit on my hands for the first 15 minutes and just see how things are going. We did talk about Tesla. Remember, they destroyed it on their vehicle deliveries, like record breaking, huge 70+% growth relative to the same quarter of last year. It's no surprise that Tesla, it broke over 800, which I was talking about in pre-market, currently trading at 799.50. All right, what do we have? Prague type 1, type 2, and type 3 squeeze signal issued between the last 2 days. There's really no difference in the types. It's not like they're higher or lower quality. It's just they're a different type of, signal. It's not like one's better than the other. It's just a different type of signal. Have a great semi-vacation week. In no way a semi-vacation. If anything, I'll probably be putting in more hours this week because of the things I need to do in the back end. This is not, it's actually quite the opposite. It's not taking my foot off the gas. I have, personally, and with like the small team I have around me, discussed it, thought about it, and this is the exact opposite. This is me, I feel like I've been operating in the sense of where like it's like the pedal in this car and this train that we're driving, this rocket that we're driving has all the way been down. I'm like now shoving it through the floor and like really pushing the gas as much as I can. Hey, similar to AMC and GME in terms of this like quote unquote YouTube career and live streaming career, I've noticed that taking absurd bets has seemed to pay off. And I don't know if that will continue in the future, but I'm going to take that bet. I'm not here now that I've been so fortunate to get to a certain level. I'm not here to be like, oh, okay, like now let's dial down the risk and like just be fine with the current reward of the situation. I very much am treating this the same way I treat AMC and GME. It's an all or nothing thing. Like I said earlier, I'm swinging for the fences. This is not of, oh, okay, like he got to a point and now he's taking a breather. In fact, it's the literal opposite of I've made the personal decision to fully commit to just taking all of the stocks, the career, the brand, everything as close to the moon as I possibly can get it. And we'll see how it all plays out. I read an article that Bank of America is shorting AMC. Any thoughts? So I read that too, but I saw no actual confirmation of it because remember, shorts are not reported in 13F filings. So I don't know how people came up with that, like at all. It might be true. I'm not saying it is true or isn't true. I'm saying I have found nothing that actually confirms Bank of America is short AMC. And unless Bank of America publicly states that they're shorting AMC, there's actually no way to know that they're short AMC because it's not reported. It's not forced to be reported in those 13F filings. GME shares on loan lower than the established short interest on Ortex. Interesting, David. I'll if there is that discrepancy. So what are you saying? Current estimated short. Yeah, I'll have to shoot them an email. That shouldn't be. That mathematically does not make sense. I love listening to you. Such a superstar. Shout out Saucy Ramen. Heidi from Denmark. Becoming a space ape. Shout out Heidi. I'm all up in your stream, supporting your decisions. Good morning, apes. And finally, Monday. Let's make an amazing week and have a green day. Shout out Kinky Kong. Curtis, what's going on? I appreciate you becoming an astronaut. Tesla is booming. Tesla's having a great day. I've been here from the beginning, not going anywhere. Chase your dreams, crush your goals, and have fun along the way. We're with you. I appreciate that. Happy birthday. Will you please make some videos about personal trading algos and stuff like Elliott Wave theory? So I'm not the biggest fan of Elliott Wave. I can make a video explaining what it is, but in terms of like my futures algorithms, a decent amount of them are already up on my channel. If you go to some of my oldest videos, you could see some of my like basic strategies and seasonality ones. I could like share more of those on the backup channel, the Kohrs Lite channel, and also upload them to Rumble if you're currently listening on Rumble. I want to make those, and it's even things like that I need the time to do this. Like if I'm, like I said, going to interview Wall Streeters, politicians, make trading algorithm videos, make crypto videos, I just need time. And it's one of those things that, I mean, for how many months in a row was I streaming 7 hours a day? That is physically and mentally exhausting. So I'm just attempting to restructure my own schedule. And you guys a lot of you listening right now might be like, wait, is he serious about this? Like, how serious is Matt? Folks, if you're on the fence of like, wait, what is Matt doing? Like, how serious is he about this like gigantic pivot and attempting it sounds stupid to say, but I'm gonna run this rocket as high as I can, and I want to be in the levels of me with this little YouTube channel. I want to compete in the exact same realm and numbers of all of mainstream media because I think they're all full of shit. It's that straight up. I'm so sick and tired of all these people being bought and paid for and lying and being divisive. No, I'm not doing this under someone else's flagship. I'm doing this under mine so I can tell you what I perceive to be the truth 100% of the time. A lot of you might be like, wow, Matt, that sounds like a very, very good soundbite, but is he serious about it? Like, is he doing it? And I don't know how I could be more serious, but I will. Let me explain a little bit of a story to you. I went full Coach Kohrs over the weekend. Yesterday and then this morning, I was like, Matt, you got to be serious. You got to do something. Out of nowhere, I sat down Sunday. This is very, very true. I sat down Sunday. I was here. I was researching. I was looking into Solana because Solana's like a crypto that's been running like crazy. I was like, I should make a Solana video. I was like, Matt, is this the video the group needs? Is this like what's going to be best for people to learn about? I was like, Matt, you got to be better. You got to pivot. And then this is when really things started to come together. I was like, you got to pull the trigger on the show idea, on the high quality content, on all of this. And it was like, you got to change it all. Like your life is in flux. You got to execute. And I went upstairs, threw on my sneakers, and I just drove to the closest gym. I have not been in a gym since Nam, practically. I don't know. I wasn't alive during Vietnam. Anyway, it's been a while. The physical health, mental health, and my being right now recently have not been getting along. I was like, Matt, you got to be better. I drove right to a gym, bought a membership. They're like, what do you want? I was like, give me a membership and give me a membership right now. I was like, where's your stair stepper? And they were like cowering. They're like, what's wrong, sir? I was like, tell me where the stair stepper is. I went over to the stair stepper. I jacked that up to 10, and I was freaking running up this mountain. And whatever the stair stepper is, they have a leaderboard of like who's been doing the most stair stepping, I guess. And day one, folks, I've not worked out in a good, I don't know, like how many ever, like 18 to 24 months. Your boy's already on the record board for the stair stepper. I took place 4 out of 5 on attempt 1. And then this morning I got up crack of dawn. Like, I know I joke about the crack of dawn, literally the crack of dawn. It was still dark out. I got up at 5. I was like, Matt, you got to get that Like, I need to control the entire leaderboard on the stair stepper. I got up at 5. I came back in, and they're like, uh-oh, LT Gray's back here. I was like, shut up. I'm Coach Kohrs. And I was like, where's the stair stepper? And they're like, we told you where the stair stepper is. I was like, okay, whatever. And I go back to the stair stepper, and I crush it again today. So now I have spots 2 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. I will dominate this leaderboard. It's a small victory. I know someone in Philly at this gym is like, wait, I was on the leaderboard, and I keep putting my name as Ape, APE. So Ape and Apes, I'm going to dominate this entire stair-stepping leaderboard. So if you need a point of dedication, it's happening, folks. It's happening. You should stream the stair stepper. So 2 days in a row. And now that I told you, I'm going to be held publicly accountable. There's no way I can even pull out of this whole like stair stepping domination thing that I'm doing, because you guys all know about it. You're going to be like, well, Matt, where on the leaderboard are you today? So I said it publicly. As soon as you put it out publicly, especially when you're streaming to over 10,000 people, I can't back out of it. So these stairs will be mine. I will stair step all the way to the freaking moon if I have to. If the rocket's not there to pick me up, and if I have to hitchhike step by step, I will take every goddamn step all the way to the moon if need be. That's where we're at. All right, questions. I'm already behind on all these. So AMC 3750, just so you know, GME 175, but we're seeing Russell 2000, and we're now like, this is why when I tell you about the 15-minute thing, look at this stuff. If you're trying to get Tesla or the Russell 2000 and hopefully AMC or GME on an intraday basis, sometimes this 15-minute waiting period, like you see people getting whipsawed right out of the gate, and it seems like that's kind of happening with the Russell and Tesla right now. The first 15 minutes was selling, but it sounds like it feels like they're finally catching a bid right now. All right, buddy, yes, good for you, Matt. Chasing your dreams is a good thing. Looking forward to watching your journey. What else isn't reported like short positions? Are shorts not reported as a way to allow the SEC to ignore actually prosecuting naked shorts? If shorts had to report, it wouldn't be apparent when naked shorts. So 13Fs is a filing that if there's some entity that's managing over $100 million, they have to file these things called 13Fs. They have to report their long positions, their calls, and their puts, but not their shorts. I don't know who made that up. Right now, there is a bill, and they do this every fiscal quarter, so it's really not even that often. There is currently a bill in front of the House Financial Committee that is looking to, increase the cadence. Instead of every quarter, it's going to look at it monthly. And they are also looking at it to report shorts on it. So right now the bill is being heard. It's being discussed. I don't know if it will or won't get passed, but at least the government in a certain sense is like hearing what we're saying of like, wait, why are shorts not being reported in these official 13Fs? So that's kind of always interesting. Of when I hear people saying like, oh, this person's short AMC, this person's short AMC, unless they publicly state it, like such as like Iceberg Research or Rich Greenfield or Jim Chanos, those people have all said, hey, we're short AMC. But any of these other ones, unless they state it, we don't know. They're not reporting it. And people seemingly make a lot of assumptions. That's the world of, I guess, social media. They like to just say stuff randomly. But unless the company, the hedge fund, the bank, or whatever it is, whatever the entity is, unless they've publicly stated it, there's no way to know that they're actually short. Captain Mexico, unfortunately, I was not able to see Venom, just like too much work, way too much work. I didn't really have the time to take a break and watch that, but I'm planning on seeing it midweek. Walter Bloomberg, trading houses face big margin calls from brokerages and exchange due to soaring gas prices. Moon Gang, Matt, I will follow you. Shout out Gorilla Champ. Andrew, any way we get level 2 display on AMC GME often throughout the week? It's fun to see the tug of war played out. So I don't think TradingView has it, unfortunately. And just so you know, if you're looking at it on Webull, that is not the full level 2. That's exclusively the bid and the ask for the New York Stock Exchange, which is one of 14 lit exchanges. So even if you're looking at it on Webull, it's not the full picture. And even if you had all the lit exchanges, it's not the full picture because there's still market makers and there's also still dark pools. So the level 2, you can check it out, but just I wouldn't get too entrenched in the value of those numbers, especially because mostly what people are looking at is exclusively the New York Stock Exchange. And with that, like, we know that a small percentage of the overall volume on AMC or GME is being traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So it comes to the point of like, okay, how valuable is that data truly? What's up, Matt? Great live stream. As always, what are the support and resistance levels on ATR? Good price to open new position. ATER. ATER, the main support is 9. If it breaks below 9, I would expect a quick sell-off to 8 and potentially even 550. I would watch the low 9s very, very closely on ATER. If it goes below it, that is not good, but it could also bounce about off of it, similar to the way it did on the 30th. It might not even get there. You're kind of looking for the breakout above 1150. So either sub 9 or above 1150. Until then, it's kind of a patience play, is how I would at least personally look at it. J Boogie, promise you won't forget about us when you make it big. We'll continue to watch and support you. But well, I'm just doing it right here. Like, it's not like I'm like going anywhere. It's here. I'm just trying to make a better show. I'm trying to provide more value. And of course, it's still free. It's not like all of a sudden it's like a paid live stream. Like I've always operated under the concept of, if I provide value, even if it's free, hey folks, I get the money from like YouTube revenue with the ads that get played. Some of you are so generous that you decide to be like, hey, I like the research you did. Here's a bit of a tip with the super chats. That's very nice. Like, it's not like all of a sudden I'm going to start making videos and all my good stuff's going behind a paywall. Not going to happen. What are people mad about? Could the crap will stop stunting and learning? Matt, you continue to lead against heavy hitters with steel nards and fun to watch. It's legendary. Rock on. I think some people are going to get it. I think a lot of you out there, like, I don't know what it would be about your personality that you're like, okay, like, I see what Matt's going for. I see the importance and the level. I'm just trying to elevate the fight. I'm trying to like just go swinging. I'm trying to enter the arena with some pretty serious people and see what happens. That's my goal. And I think some of the people, like, I know, like, I'm already well aware I'm going to get some of that, petulant kickback. I'm like, I just want to see him show AMC all day. I just want to see him show GME all day. Folks, I don't know. Like, maybe someone else will fill that void, but it's just, I could provide exponentially more value than that. I can, and I'm going to. Wall Street Viking, it's my understanding that each Ortex type uses different metrics. So when all three are triggered at the same time, that's more bullish. Also check the prog chart if you can. So I would actually agree with that. Yes. So it's actually different algorithms. And if you have multiple algorithms saying, oh, like, we see a bullish edge and then another one simultaneously sees a different bullish edge, well, them together, I would argue, is actually more bullish then. And you asked to check prog. Prog's looking good right now. So, Green Day, gap up, Green Day, gap up, little bit red. It did the first gap fill, but today a bit of a gap down, already pushing green. I would be looking for the breakout at $2 flat. We had resistance back in early August, and from there I'd be watching 230. After 230, I'd be watching 270. Those are the levels I would watch in the short term. My vote is to do more content, take the risk while you are young and have nothing to lose. As they say, more is lost by indecision than the wrong decision. You make the mistake to win long term. It worked for Matt. Thanks, Paul. Shout out, Paul. Big balls, Pauls. I appreciate that. One of two things will happen with this change. You grow more because you're new content, or you lose the casuals and keep your core. Stay convicted to your choice and success will come. I'll be here, bro. I appreciate that, all boogie. Puts on Mark's leg. Gonna print me tendies, y'all. All right, we're seeing some green. We're seeing some buyers step in. I like it. Ken Griffin is doing an interview on Bloomberg at 1 p.m. Interesting. Enough is enough. I've had it with all these mother effing steps on this mother effing plane. With all the work you are getting, putting on yourself, have you thought about getting an editor? I made the initial steps. If you are a film editor, a person who is potentially interested in a position, a paid position, that's like, it's not a one-day turnaround thing. It's more of like, I need a film and get it out that day. If you're an editor, maybe with some extra free time, looking to make some extra cash, reach out to me. I'm also looking for everything. If you want to be part of what I have confidence will become a massive show, all of it, producer, scriptwriter, editor, just maybe a comic, just someone who makes me laugh. It's a team. We're building out a team. Like I said, I'm taking a lot of this YouTube money and I'm investing it. Over the weekend, I officially hired 2 people and the team's growing and we're going bigger and bigger. We're swinging. Apparently, Kenny G is on Bloomberg at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll definitely be watching it and I can make the video about it. If that's what you guys want the upload video today to be about, of like me kind of going into what he's saying, more than happy to. When am I painting your brick furniture / front door? Tommy Such, whenever you want to. Quite a bit of brick around me here in Philly. Went upstairs, looked his totally real girlfriend in the eyes and said, "Look, buddy, I'm going to need you to calm down, destroy the stairs, Deborah Matt. Good luck." Enough is enough. We need a Philly ape steak sandwich. No, I'm not. No interview here. Nothing to see. That's from Kenneth C. Griffin. It's always appreciative when Kenny Boy comes in here and drops a super chat. We appreciate that. Can you check out CEI? They've added options to the stock over the weekend. Is it good, bad? Thoughts? So with CEI, when they add options, that just shows that there's more overall interest in whatever is or isn't taking place. So when they're adding more, that just tells me that, and like we already know this, that the trading volume has gone absolutely bonkers. So it makes sense that they added it. Yes, I guess I would say it's bullish, but most of the time it just means there's like way more overall interest, which is generally going to be a good thing, especially with something like CEI. All right, let me see if we have. I was trying to get one extra announcement, but I don't know if I can announce it for all of you quite yet. I don't think I've gotten the confirmation, so maybe this one has to get pushed off to tomorrow, or maybe I'll get it very soon. Okay, so CEI looking good. Just very quick on a daily view. Oh, this is looking strong. Nice bounce off of 310. Look for it to, well, it already kind of went above it. Look at the high from Friday, 354. If it goes that way, then you're talking about 4. Then you're talking about the high 4s. CEI is looking strong. You're just like, it ripped. It took a breather like it's done previously, where it rips, takes a breather, rips again. Who knows? I just think it's a good risk reward setup. If you want, you could risk 285. That's your risk. I don't know if it's going to hit your risk and you're going to lose, or that's a good risk and it ends up exploding. I never know the future. And that's, I guess, kind of circling back to what we were talking about with like AMC, of like, what does this mean? And people freaking out that I'm streaming less. It's, well, I don't know. I don't know whenever I see a stock move, I don't know what the next minute bar is going to be. I don't. No one can tell you when it's going to go. Like, there's too many. It's one of the most extreme multivariate equations known to man. That's the stock market for you. I don't know ever what the next scar is going to be. All I can say is, hey, this is a reasonable risk reward setup. Is it a low risk? Is it a high reward? Great. I like it. Let's see how it goes. Other than that, I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a lawyer. So with AMC, I mean, AMC is honestly, AMC and GME, I would argue, are easier than any other stock, because it's as simple as this. Unless we get the MOAS, unless we get all the shorts to cover, I'm in my position. I am not leaving the position. I will remain long on those till I meet my maker if need be. It's that simple. So to sit there, like my commentary, like it's, I guess I was thinking about it, is it really like my commentary that keeps, like, if you're an ape, you're an ape. You don't need someone on YouTube informing you that random person on the internet's not selling. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter if I'm streaming or not. Unless all the shorts cover, I'm in my position. It's literally that simple. What else do we have? Need a stair stepper emoji to get AMC going. Shiba Inu dropped to 0 and hit 4 billion market cap, currently ranked 42. Whoa. I look forward to vascular shredded. Man, shout out Captain Mexico. Mighty Mork. Hey, Mighty Mong. Hey, Mork. Here's my Cheez-It contribution. What are your thoughts on Lucid? I like Lucid. I'm a fan of Lucid. LCID. I think it's a strong EV play in the US. It's really trying to capitalize on the luxury market, which is kind of actually how Tesla got its start. We have very obvious support at $24. It might break below it, and then you could pick up some a little bit lower. To me, Lucid is a longer term play. I'm not actively trading it in any manner. I just see it as a good investment in the US based EV space. Can you check on CEI? Okay, we did that. KPLT, how's that gap fill looking on KPLT? All right, the question is, which gap does it fill first? It looks like now potentially this bottom gap might be filled first. You could watch the support around 4, but the gap fills at 360. And this is the danger, I suppose, of two different gaps. You have this top side gap up to 930, and you have a bottom side gap up to 360. And right now, is IWM getting hit? Not really. I'm a little confused on KPLT. Obviously, just there is more supply than there is demand. But right now, it looks like for whoever's in control, it does appear as if they're targeting that bottom gap. But who knows? It could pull an early U-turn if we start to see the SPY and really these overall important indices, the SPY, the Qs, and IWM kind of turn. Also, watch all your videos. Anyone wants live stream AMC, check it out. Shout out Bob the Skull. Your thoughts on the Mark interview? Yeah, so I actually made a whole interview, like a whole video about that. I think it's pretty crazy stuff. I think it's things that our community has already been discussing. Mark, he's, I believe, a person who testified against Goldman Sachs. He basically... There's already been a big suspicion of attempting to hide a position through selling deep in the money calls or buying deep in the money puts, and he just kind of gave confirmation of it. I thought it was very, very interesting, and I agree with him. And it's kind of nice to know that everyone's theories related to that specific thing have kind of been confirmed. How come whenever I search AMC on YouTube, it's all old stuff I used to show all the recent videos and updates? Thought that was strange. We all know there's like some kind of evidence recently that, I don't know, YouTube has not been playing the most nice with AMC and GME's specific videos. Would you consider alternating between a morning and evening stream in case those who can't listen at one time, just another? That's an idea. I'll think about it. For right now, the plan is the morning one. But remember, that video is going to be up. So like maybe if you can't watch it, that's like the point of making the established show is maybe if there's a more convenient time for you, you'll be able to kind of listen to it or watch it whenever is best for your schedule. Pay me to be the hype man. I'm formerly known as Trey's Nipples Only fan. I'm a Viking, a party planner. Careful though, the parties may be considered fun. What if you need a guest with firm yet noticeable man boobs? I'm your guy. Happy birthday. Shout out Dan Smith. Alexis, Matt, you're still going to stream when if the squeeze happens. Thank you. All you do. Excited. Yeah, so if there's a particular day when things are very much haywire and I feel that it's I'm making every decision through the lens of what's the most valuable to the community. So if there's a particular day that things are going haywire and it's most valuable for me to sit here for all 7 hours, I will. But that's the lens through which I'm making every decision. How can I provide the most value to the Moon Gang community? ENG on a run. Shout out Echo. How's AMC looking? Can you check Ortex? So AMC's right now... kind of that same level, 37.50. You see the Russell 2000 taking a hit as the Russell's getting sold. What's the SPY doing? The SPY, look at market getting hit. The SPY, the Russell, we're seeing some selling. We're seeing some selling. What? Why? Why is there so much selling? Hang on. Let me see if there's anything breaking right now. Let me see if there's anything breaking. Any breaking news we need to know about? No, not on this website. Hang on. Let me check some news accounts. That was a very swift sell in both the SPY and the Russell 2000. Prague, True Demon just had a tweet about Prague. They're creating life-saving cancer testing kits and novel cancer research, and Wall Street wants to short them to bankruptcy. They deserve to lose every effing penny. Hashtag save Prague. Shout out True Demon. All right. Let me see this. All right. What kind of news do we have? Schumer, we can't wait until October 18th to resolve the debt ceiling that just came out. Fantasia didn't make payment due on 2021 notes. Evergrande also scrambling to make payments. We got some movement by OPEC that will relate to oil and CEI for those of you who have been paying attention to that. Looks like Amazon's getting hit today. All right. That's kind of the news. No horrific event or anything, but we see that the market's selling. Russell 2000 and the SPY are both selling. All right, and someone asked for the Ortex data on this. They borrowed, same thing. The short interest is 20.45%, and they borrowed 617, which was a net of 340,000 on AMC. Crypto is waking up. Crypto has been on a nice move lately. Bitcoin went from 41,000 all the way up to 47,000. It's pushing 49. Very, very with how crypto looks like now. Like I truly, truly am. Bitcoin, as this goes up, we're also seeing Ethereum go up. On Thursday last week, I loaded back into Ethereum. I don't know what date that was, but it was somewhere around 2,900. I don't know, somewhere in here. And thus far, I was actually using that. I was going to try to buy some NFTs today, but literally just the percentage gain that I got in Ethereum, I was like, oh, wait, I should probably just sit on this Ethereum. Cardano bouncing off of 2 up to 220. Solana has been running like crazy. SOL. This is another proof of stake. It also has live it is live with smart contracts similar to Ethereum, similar to Cardano. This one is looking great. Ethereum, Cardano, Solana are my favorite smart contract crypto plays. High utility, very bullish on all of them. Bitcoin, I love it as a store of value. I'm in Doge just as a digital currency. I'm also in Hex as more of, not really the technical definition of yield farming, but pretty much I'm just looking to for interest payments on my money. But all of them thus far have been treating me really, really well. My most recent purchase of Ethereum was, like I said, 2,800. Bitcoin, I'm actually kind of break even with it. I mean, I bought quite a bit above 50, so my average is around 48. Solana, I mean, I announced when I loaded up on that, I got in at 137. It's now 171. And Hex, I bought it twice. My first batch of buying was at 8 cents. My second batch of buying was at 38 cents. And Cardano, I got in at 150 and I got in at 250. So I bought more at $2.50. So my average is above 2, roughly break even where I'm at. No, above. It's the low 2s is my average on Cardano. But just so you know, the reason, so crypto recently took a hit, that was because the People's Bank of China, PBOC, once again reiterated that all crypto transactions are illegal and they're against it. A couple days later, Jerome Powell said, hey, we have no intention of banning crypto, and then it bounced back. So China's announcement brought crypto down. It based there for a couple days. Then Jerome Powell spoke about not banning it, and it came back up. So basically, Powell's comments basically just undid China's comments on the whole deal. That's kind of the recent development, at least political, national, government-based developments related to crypto. I too am not psychic nor a financial advisor. I am not a cat nor a Redditor, not your mom and your wife's boyfriend, but I often check in on his behalf. Hey, brother, thoughts on FAMI? High volume seems like, yeah, FAMI has extremely high volume. I mean, it traded 1 billion shares on Friday. How's this one looking in its chart? It traded a lot. We're currently at the support of 37 cents. Above that, like, you're kind of playing the range right now between 37 and 46. If it pushes 46, look for it to rip. If it falls below 37, there's a chance it might be heading to 30. But remember, high volume is not associated with bullishness or bearishness. It's just high volume is commonly correlated with high volatility. KPLT came off the threshold list as well. Benzinga added BMRA as a short squeeze option. To me, the chart doesn't look too promising. How's Ortex look? BMRA. So coming back to your, hang on, let me bring this up. KPLT, the fact that it got taken off the threshold list, to me, it means that in terms of the FTD short squeeze methodology, the fact that it's not on that list and it has negative price action, it probably to me would no longer be a short FTD short squeeze play. It might be a gap fill play, but if we're like trying to bucket all these types of trades, I don't think that that one would anymore. I didn't realize it was removed from the list. BMRA. What is this one? Biomerica. This one has a short interest of just 9.6%. So that one doesn't really seem too interesting to me either. BMRA. Did I get the right stock? Yeah. Just promise when we start to move to the moon with AMC, you'll live stream with us. Can't imagine watching the Green Rockets without this live fam. Yeah, in those events, more than happy to. CSCO. People are asking about CSCO. Cisco, not looking the best. Cisco down, 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 currently at support. If it doesn't bounce like now, you might be looking at, I guess 52 and some change. If it doesn't catch itself at 54, I'd be watching 52 and some change. If it does catch itself, I'd be watching the region between 56.50 and 57, and maybe if it keeps pushing. But right now, I just don't see any buyers. I don't see any demands in Cisco. It's just selling, selling, selling. Clearly, the supply is overwhelming the demand at this moment in time. Cisco, it is, I guess, a technical juggernaut. Not the strongest one I've ever seen, but it's a big company. I mean, we're talking $230 billion. This is a well-established tech company. So, obviously, that's worth something. But ever since, I mean, right now, when you see the yields, as yields go up, like you're going to hear about the yields like really popping, that's not good for high growth tech, just because it makes the thesis to be in them a bit weaker. So right now, the Qs are just not doing the best. The Qs is the index that tracks the overall like tech sector, or it's very tech dominant. So this is your things like your Microsoft, your Amazon, your Facebook, your Apple, your Cisco. Think those big tech stocks, and right now you see the Qs getting crushed. It's not that surprising that Cisco is also getting hit. Gush. This is another oil play. Yeah, it's an ETF, I guess, for oil. So I don't think anyone's really shorting oil right now. Ortex doesn't have the short interest on it. I think this is just an ETF. But if you just see oil continuing to like rip higher and higher, Gush might be a play. But yeah, Gush, GUSH is much more of an oil play. So I wouldn't even look at that chart. I would look at crude oil, like the chart of crude oil. The futures for that is CL if you want to check out crude oil. Meme Maker, shout out. Where do you see ADA in 5 years? That's quite a ways out. I see it quite a bit higher. I see potentially, I think there's a good argument that Cardano could hit $5 within the next 12 months. I'm working on a little bit of a smaller time frame of like my analysis, but just to clarify, what does that mean? That doesn't mean I'd be selling within that time period. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those like main, like let's just think of like the equivalent of the blue chip stocks, but within the crypto world, all of those I'm going to hold for multiple decades, most likely. I view it as a long-term play. And either huge percentage returns or it all goes to zero on me. But the reason why I think it's difficult to do like a 5-year prediction is because you don't know what type of regulations specifically the US government is going to drop on the nation as it relates to crypto. Shout out Potato. Can you give us ATER or tech? Shout out Alec. ATER. The short interest on ATER is 43% as of now. Shout out Austin. Morning, dude. How's the coffee? Hey, little coffee break, everyone. That's a good call. Little coffee break. Appreciate that, Austin. Can you grade my homework, please? I would consider fake breakout. I'm seeing a double bottom with a potential trendline breakout. Agree or no? I would, on ATER, I would need to see... okay, wait, ATER. 1150. Yeah, I would agree with that. But also on the bottom there, like your middle blue line, that's the support that you want ATER to hold. You have it at 970. What I would be watching would be a bit lower, like the lower nines. But I would still overall agree with you. Stonks Are Us. I don't know what this is. Something went wrong. I don't know what that program that's for. This is the second time I got rejected for a transfer. First Webull and now public. Tinfoil hat time. I mean, the brokerage, that would be a different entity for tinfoil hat. Like all brokerages like would want your money. Like they brokerages want you on it. All right. AMC CEO tell everyone to choke on that. It's happening. Choke on that. Citadel scandal. Matt's eyebrows on fleek. I don't know why. I just have very like big bushy eyebrows. I guess I was just born with them. It's the secrets of Dawn dish soap, folks. Kludge, what do I see on you? Let's check that out. You. Oh, super strong. Oh, at this point, I would really be interested in 840. First target. It might break and rip from there. It's at resistance now. You want this over 740. If it gets over 740, currently at resistance. From there, $1. I'd be watching $1 gain from this moment if we get that breakout up to 840. I started watching you and Trey. I know more than him now. Thank you. We are all the way, kid. Shout out Lady Ape Lana. ENG, it's being reported that ENG is ripping. ENG is ripping 355. Watch this resistance at 380. 380 is my first target, followed by 4, followed by 5. 380, 4, and the 5. ENG, I don't know what the news on it is. Heavy trading volume, I guess in earnings. That was August 5th. What's this one? Okay, so no recent news, but bullish price action, undoubtable bullish price action. All right, let's get to the 3-minute. As the AMC is being sold, this is very much being tied to the Russell 2000. I mean, look at this. The Russell being sold. Tesla trying to hold above 800, but looks a bit heavy right now. GME being sold. SPY being sold. We're just seeing money exit the market currently. CHPT, I really wanted to bounce and not make it its way back. I mean, you never know what's going to do. Like, all you can do is watch the support and resistance. Right now, it looks very heavy. Whoa. Okay, I would, on CHPT... Man, why did it break down like this? So there is a potential of it's catching itself somewhat quickly in the mid 17s, but if it goes below that, I would be watching like $12.50, maybe $13. But once again, there is that shot of it catching itself in the 17s, and it's currently at $18.40. But this recent breakdown from this low of basically March to May, that's not a good breakdown. Obviously, the bears have quite a bit of momentum to get it below that support. And we're seeing this pattern of lower highs. Charge point the bears are running the show currently. I would watch the mid-ish 17s, and then from there 1250-ish. What do I think about Dogecoin? I like it. It's not my favorite crypto at the moment in time. I'm in it. One of the main things I've learned about the AMC GME saga is you can't discount the value of a massive community. And I think in terms of crypto, Dogecoin has one of the biggest support systems, one of the largest communities of like ravenous fans. So it's exclusively for that reason that I'm keeping my Doge investment, just because like from AMC and GME, I've learned that huge community support is invaluable. And Doge has that, so I'm keeping my Doge. All right, IWM is still selling, unfortunately. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. What else do we have? The IWM SPY. The markets are getting hit. Evergrande. What are you doing to us, Evergrande? Oh, couple announcements for you, just so you know, in a little bit of like the lower volume. Man, why is this? Hang on. Do we have an update on the news? It seems like this is debt ceiling related, China related, more China related. Okay, so we have concerns about the debt ceiling, and there's new concerns. This is a whole new debacle. I touched on it a bit this morning. U.S. trade chief says will raise concerns on China's state centered on non-market trade practices with Beijing during talks on phase 1 trade deal. So it seems like this trade deal between us and China, there's some tensions with it, which is no bueno at all. Yeah, so the debt ceiling, Evergrande, probably not if I were to rank this, like the debt ceiling and the new, I guess, renewed trade tensions with China, not a good situation. And then below that, we have like Evergrande is obviously back in our lives now. All right, AMC currently at 36.70, GME is at 173.70. AMC, we see no change in the shorts from early this morning, and same with GME. So this is a good teaching lesson that I think some of the newer apes especially have this assumption that stocks only go down when it's shorted. That's not true. Stocks go down when there's more selling than there is buying, as in terms of selling pressure and buying pressure. If you sell to create a position, that's going short. But if you sell to get out of a position, that's just closing your long. But selling is selling. More selling pressure, more supply is what causes the stock to go down, and the opposite is what causes it to go up. So if you're listening right now, I think there's a couple people, I just see some newer apes that have the assumption stocks only go down if it's being shorted, and that's not true. Can they go down when there's a lot of shorting? Yeah, of course, but that's a type of selling. The other type of selling is people getting out of long positions. For example, we know that all these ETFs that track the Russell 2000, they all have quite a bit of exposure to AMC. So as they drop, to be proportionate what they need to really, their proportionate proper weight, they're going to be selling AMC as the Russell 2000 itself drops, because they have to keep their ETF perfectly balanced. So as they sell, because the Russell 2000 is dropping, there is a scenario in which people like Vanguard and there's so many ETFs out there that track the Russell 2000. All of those people, as it drops, they might be selling off a proportionate amount of AMC. So they were long, and then they closed the position as the ETF, but they wouldn't close the whole position. They would be closing the proportionate percentage of it. Commodities traders facing margin calls, unusual whales. So there's a good chance that they're increasing their margin requirements as volatility increases. I mean, myself being a futures trader, you see this often. As volatility increases, I mean, take a look at the VIX. It's probably ripping right now. Look at this. The VIX is moving up, up, up. As the SPY sells off, the VIX goes up. As volatility goes up, they commonly increase margin requirements. So people who had a position that was previously under margin requirements, not all of them get grandfathered into it. They could legitimately be like, oh, nope, you were fine as of Friday, but now with the high volatility, you need more money. They might not have more money, and then they have to close the position, but they are a good chance of being margin called as the market sells off. Just because volatility is higher, people are on edge. They don't know what's going on. So as a brokerage, to protect themselves, they require more money. All right, we have that. All right, so let's go CEI. We have this. Here's the SPY. Man, the SPY is still kind of in no man's land. I know on an intraday basis, it's trending down. I guess you could watch 429 as a... Yeah, you could watch 429. This is a lot of aggressive selling. But also it could just bounce off of there again and come back up. So it's not the most like layup of a trade because you also have this trend line, which is support. I think it's reasonable, maybe not the highest odds trade, but just kind of watching this zone. 429 is currently at 430.60, something like that. Something like that. CEI, IWM. Can you explain the benefits of computer share? I heard you have to mail a written request to sell your shares. Does this help hinder MOAS, and how will the affect your selling your positions? I have not heard of a written request to sell your shares. It does take longer though. I would say that's one of the biggest cons about registering your shares, doing a direct registration, is you're not as mobile as you are on a brokerage. But the benefits of it is, if enough people do it, we're fully accounting for ownership. So if there's more shares registered than there is free float plus short interest, that's highly indicative of illegal, illegitimate positions. And it does seem as more and more people register, it seems as if there are considerably less FTDs, which I would also consider a benefit, but it's not using direct registration via computer share. It's not the... It's not perfectly beneficial in all categories. Like I said, it does make you a lot more immobile in terms of your agility related to when you want to get out. And with that, I believe there are some YouTubers who are posting videos about it, but it's not as positive as... I don't know. There are YouTubers who are like saying, hang on, it's not perfect. And also Reddit as well. There are quite a few Reddit threads who are like, okay, it's like kind of beneficial here, but it's not purely beneficial. So it's kind of like, you have to weigh it out of like it's kind of like what's more important to you, honestly. And I think every person would be defining that differently on the aspects of AMC and GME that truly do and don't matter. And I think it's from person to person, but just so everyone knows, I don't have any of mine registered. I put a big value on being able to quickly control my positions and being able to quickly control my money. But there's pros and cons. I'm not fully against it. I'm not fully supportive of it. It's just, I don't know. I think there's more important things to consider about it, like in the world right now, rather than this computer share thing. It seems like there's even people now fighting in it. I don't think computer share is going to be the thing that prompts a MOAS. So if I'm not going to spend... I've spent enough time to learn about it to be able to express to you what it is. It's a direct registration where, remember, when you're buying on a brokerage, you don't own stock. You own a very fancy IOU, like a legal IOU from the brokerage saying that you own stock, and it's the brokerage that actually owns the stock. So they're like, hey, yeah, like we'll give it to you. When you do the direct registration, you become the legal legitimate owner, which is good because you're now the legal legitimate owner of said stock. But you being the legal legitimate owner you don't have the mechanism set up that brokerages do that allow you to get in and out very, very rapidly. So that's kind of an important thing. And that's the trade-off. Like I see the pros, I see the cons. I'm not fully for it. I'm not fully against it, but I'm just not going to do it. I learned about it enough to explain to all of you what it is, what it isn't. But with all of that being said, computer share and direct registration is not, in my opinion, the thing that's going to be like, oh, our final key, like the missing piece of the puzzle that causes a MOS. I don't think that at all. Very good question, Mike. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever, BBIG thoughts. What's going on with BBIG? At $6. BBIG, I'd watch 560. I'd watch 560 and 660. You're stuck in this dollar range. It's just not moving. Either look for the bullish breakout or the bearish breakdown, and you could probably play either side accordingly. BBIG, let me just double check the Ortex numbers for you. Why is this not coming up? All right, there we go. BBIG, short interest of 30%, utilization of 99.9, and shares on loan of 32 million. So it has those. I believe that BBIG is on the threshold list. I will check that for you. NASDAQ threshold. Is BBIG on it? It is not. Okay, so I'm less of a fan then of. It might be another type of a play, but it doesn't appear to be on the threshold list. And the price action, it's not bullish, it's not bearish, it's flat. So if you're in BBIG, which I'm not telling you to be in it or out of it, you should like it for a different reason beyond being a threshold squeeze play. Like you should like it because you're like, hey, I think the company's growing, I like the direction, or some other reason. But I would argue that it no longer meets the credentials of an FTD short squeeze play. It might meet the credentials of some other type of short squeeze play, but for what we've been talking about a bit more on this channel, it kind of fell out of that category. But just because it falls out of one doesn't mean it's like a useless play. It's just you have to potentially like it for a different reason. All right, what do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, the SPY. The SPY, the SPY, the SPY. What is the SPY doing? SPY. I'm trying to see what I want to do with the SPY. The SPY, whoa, the SPY is still going. Man, this selling, I mean, I guess it almost feels as if with the debt ceiling and like I said previously, the renewed tensions with, I guess, China, really. I'm just trying to see if there's any like news about more. It seems like this China news and the chief trade officer or whatever they're called. I'm trying to see if I could get everyone a bit more news on that, because it's the only thing that makes sense to me that has people like so on edge right now. So on edge. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything obvious. I guess that's something I really need to dive into. So I'm gonna probably do my best attempt to put something like together, like more of a full thought out breakdown of this tension thing. Probably not the best scenario. All right. Well, I'll have to research that off stream. But anyway, AMC catching a bid at 36.40, which I believe we've actually seen that level previously. Yeah, so we had some support, we had some consolidation, some resistance, and then that was the point of a rip. So not the strongest level. I would argue that 36 flat has a little bit more price action related to it, of just more of a, I should say, reaction to the price. But hey, if it bounces early, it bounces early. I'm not going to in any way complain about that. All right, 3 minute. And just so you know, GME at 173, AMC at 36.50. All right, let me go back to IWM here. Do you think Pandora paper news is moving the market? No. I think it's interesting. I don't think that's a market mover. I mean, the debt ceiling and this China thing and Evergrande, those three things are very, very much going to be more impactful. I mean, the Pandora papers I feel like it's kind of just saying something we already knew of, like, oh, people are like powerful, rich, famous, connected people are scamming the system. Everyone's like, oh yeah, no, like we know that. Matt doesn't want to be sued. DRS is the way. I don't think so. I don't think it's the way. And that like wouldn't sue me or not sue me. Like, I don't see the suing involved in that. This is just my opinion. And I need to express to everyone that, I mean, if you're listening right now, it's not like it's being widely, like, it seems like half the people who know about it like it. The other half of people who know about it don't like it. This is not like a widely accepted thing that everyone should be on computer share. Look up the YouTube videos, check out the Reddit. There's like quite a bit of debate back and forth. And I see the argument of both sides, but I'm not going to get sued either way. CPAM's on it. It's just my opinion. But I personally put a premium on being able to control my positions very rapidly, and you cannot do that on computer share. And if anyone is telling you, no, like you can get in and out within seconds, no, you can't. That's one of the advantages of a brokerage, is they have the mechanisms already fully built out for rapid changes, and as in creating a position, closing a position, or doing something in between. And when you're the owner, like you're not like your own brokerage, you have to get connected with someone. Then it's just a longer process. It's the issue of stock market plumbing. Like I said, but like I'm not on it. If you want to be on it, go for it. I just want you to understand that it makes you slower. But in the certain sense, the flip side of it is you're slower, but then you're also helping prevent FTDs, and you're hopefully building up the float to a level where we might see some numbers that are like, hang on, like this is really showing something that's kind of messed up. But even if we get to that number, it's the company that has to report it, which is kind of like another wrench in the system of computer shares. Just because everyone is registering theirs, it only matters then if the company itself then decides to disclose those numbers. So it's not as straightforward as the very strong supporters of it, I feel like, are making. I hold 2,001 shares of AMC. I also bought a lot of SHIB way back. Do you think SHIB will hit 1 cent? I don't really know much about SHIB. What are your thoughts on CEI this week? From what I saw about it, and also just reading some of the OPEC stuff, I'm bullish on it. I mean, it's an oil play. It's looking strong. I just want to see it close above Friday's high, which is 354. Workhorse. Someone's asking about Workhorse. Workhorse has been getting smoked lately. Actually, Workhorse, I mean, this is the proof that things could take a while. Workhorse, it looks like it's trying to head down to this gap fill right there at 610, all the way back from June of 2020, so more than 2 years ago. It's at support now. It could bounce right here at 7, but if it goes below 7, I'd be watching 610 for that gap fill. Bought some SPIR calls for a quick percentage pop today. Congratulations, Scott. That's awesome. Great trade. Do I think EEIQ will gap fill back to 10 EEIQ? gap fill back to 10. The gap fill would only be to this. I don't know. Am I looking at the right chart? This is the gap fill, 630. I think one day it would, but that doesn't mean it has to happen anytime soon. Like there's, for whatever reason, there's quite a bit of bearishness in this stock, and I don't see any buyers stepping in. But when they do step in, as in when it breaks above 460, it does become more interesting for a gap fill up to 630. Matt, please look at SHIB. They say it will lose a 0 today, up to 21%. I'm always skeptical when they say. It feels like a lot of people just pumping something then. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I'm not. I mean, I filled out a questionnaire on Voyager and I ended up getting free SHIB. So I do own it. I'm long on it. So I'm not going to complain if it shoots up, but I haven't used any of my own money to buy SHIB. But if you're looking to get in on crypto, check out Voyager, just so you know. Where is this? The code is right above me, Matt21. It's a phone you download, or an app you download to your phone. This is for US residents. So this is what I've been using to easily buy crypto. It doesn't have all crypto, but it has a lot of crypto options. And then for stock, this is pinned to the top of chat. I highly recommend everyone send their orders to a lit exchange. I cannot articulate the importance of this enough. We need to avoid payment for order flow. We need to avoid dark pools. We need to avoid market makers. As an ape, you should highly desire getting all of your trades executed and facilitated on a lit exchange. So if you want to use something like Fidelity's Active Trader Pro, or if you want to use the routing system in TDA or the routing system in eTrade Pro, any of those, I think Public's the easiest because you don't have to actually pick the route. All of their orders are inherently going to a lit exchange. You could check out Public's documentation. On top of that, if you sign up, you get up to $70 for free stock. It's free trading. They don't have options. They're about to roll out crypto. But if you want to sign up for Public or not, that's cool. But I do think it's very important for every ape listening right now to avoid dark pools, to avoid market makers, to avoid payment for order flow. We're attempting to get all of our trades facilitated on a lit exchange. I think Public's the easiest way to do that, but there are other options. If you're on Interactive Brokers, you can route it. Like all these other ones, if you have a pro platform, you could just pick the route. Public, it's already inherently on a lit exchange, so like you don't have to route it yourself. So it's just, I guess, like a little bit easier. But all of it, just across the board, I think it's very, very beneficial to get all trades executed on a lit exchange. Is TD direct trading okay? On TD, like TDA or like Thinkorswim, you can pick the route. So just pick things like just a lit exchange, such as the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, any of that. I am a fan of and supportive of any form of lit exchange trading. If you want to trade on the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, IEX, I mean, there's 14 major lit exchanges, with those three probably being three of the bigger ones. Well, the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange are definitely 1 and 2. But just trading on a lit exchange, it allows for more transparency. It allows for more accurate and reasonable price discovery. If you're a petty individual such as myself, you're not really supporting lining the pockets of Ken Griffin. If you're trading on something like Robinhood or Webull, you are directly lining the pockets of Ken Griffin at Citadel Securities, Doug Sifu at Virtu. That's all those do payment for order flow, and you are clearly profiting market makers. So if you're looking for a petty, vengeful reason, that's a good one to get off. If you're looking for like a stock market plumbing of like what's better for healthier markets, well, it's just the fact that we don't want the bid-ask spread as widened as it has. We don't want market makers to have as much control as they do, because right now in the current duopoly, they could put a lot of stress and pressure on brokerages, and who knows? I'm not saying this has or hasn't happened, but I'm saying it's very possible for them to be like, you know what? Unless you do something we want as a brokerage, they might just stop their payment for order flow, because right now you have a lot of these brokerages who are highly reliant on market makers for their payment for order flow money, because if they don't get it, well, then their revenues go down, and if their revenues go down, their shareholders get pissed. So to avoid that entire like just messy scenario, we all need to get on a lit exchange. If you sign up for Public, you get free stuff. I think that's cool. Obviously, I'm an affiliate. I don't get the same thing, but there is I don't know, I get like $4 of some random thing. Like I pick either like, I don't know, like Tesla or the SPY or something like that. But to me, it's way, way more important of like, I don't care how you're trading on the lit exchange. I just very much ask of you to attempt to trade on a lit exchange. SDC is what a ladder attack looks like. I don't think so. Let me check it out. You need like, what's the proof of it? This is a systematic sell-off, but that's not indicative of a ladder attack. SDC, let me check out its numbers. Smile Direct Club, SDC. It's actually, I mean, the utilization is 99.9. So I do admit when the utilization is going higher, there's a greater statistical chance of a ladder attack. I don't know if it's on the threshold list. How much did SDC? Okay, it didn't drop 10%. Okay, no. The fact that the utilization is so high, it makes it an interesting thing. But I've also never seen evidence. Short ladder attacks, from what I've ever seen, are always pitched in theory. I've never seen hardcore evidence that this is like, I've never seen anyone ever verify it. I do admit on SDC, the fact that the utilization is so high and selling off systematically, it makes it a greater likelihood, but I would never say definitively. I think the Reddit world very much likes to overstate how often short ladder attacks happen. I don't think they're fake. I think it occurs. I just would disagree with the amount and the cadence of the occurrences. Why did the CEO sell almost all of his shares of CHPT? I guess he's not happy with owning his shares. I don't know. High inflation may not dissipate back till 2%. Target expects more inflation than we are used to for some time. That's not good. No options. I only have 700 shares of AMC and 300 of PED. Do you clean out your Keurig? Highly recommend doing that with water and vinegar. We did ours last night and the coffee tastes way better. I should probably do that. I have done that in the past, but it's been a hot minute for sure. All right, as we are winding down, so I have about 15 minutes left with all of you for today's show. A couple important reminders. So 3 reminders I need to go over. This Friday, what's that? October 8th, I believe. Let me just double check. I think it's October 8th. This Friday, October 8th, 4:30 p.m. East Coast time, ET. Mark your calendars. In partnership with TTG, True Trading Group, I will be doing an interview of Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, billionaire. We will be talking to him about crypto. He is a notorious crypto bull. He's very, very excited about businesses taking on crypto, getting it on their balance sheet, accepting it as payment. And this thing has been in works a little bit. And basically ever since Adam Aaron announced that they are taking payment and then started talking about Doge and all that stuff, that's where it really piqued my interest. So when this opportunity was offered to me, I said yes, because I want to ask someone who's really in the know of it, how does accepting crypto positively impact a business, and his thoughts on where crypto's going as an asset class. So once again, Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy. I will be interviewing him with TTG this Friday on their channel, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It's completely free. You can just watch it on YouTube. You don't have to pay or anything like that. The day after, October 9th, another thing I'm doing with TTG on that Saturday, they have a full day training called Traitorpalooza. I will be one of the speakers at Traitorpalooza. This thing is for all TTG members. It's a paid membership, but for my specific part of it, you get free access. To get this free access, you need to sign up. It's in the description of the video. It's the first link. What did I call it? I called it Traitorpalooza free sign up. So if you click on that link, there's no credit card, there's no anything. You just sign up and you get a free 1 week trial of TTG. And obviously on top of that trial, you'll also get access to me talking on Saturday. I'll be talking about AMC, GME, the rise of quote unquote meme stocks, moon stocks. I'll be talking about kind of the history of what happened. I'll be explaining a lot of terms. It's going to be about an hour long, where for 45 minutes, I explain how we got to here, and along that way, I'll be explaining a lot of important things. What is a short squeeze? What is a gamma squeeze? The options, proper risk reward, some tools you can use to track social sentiment. I'm very, very excited. I'm in the middle of building out like my lecture. But once again, I cannot express both of these things are free. The Michael Cera thing, free on YouTube. On the other thing, the Traitorpalooza, when I'm talking about really the insanity of the ape community, also free. You just need to sign up, but no credit card, no anything. Just click on that link, create an account. You'll have free access. And then the third thing I need to announce is on Monday the 11th. So we're talking about Friday the 8th, Saturday the 9th. We take a break on Sunday. And then on Monday the 11th, I am doing a podcast with Dave Lauer. We're talking about market structure. We're talking about market makers. We're talking about the ape community. That will be hosted by one of the lit exchanges, IEX. They have their own podcast. They invited Dave and myself to come on simultaneously and discuss everything going on. The registration for that is also there. Also, once again, free. Everything I've just discussed, the Michael Saylor interview, Traitorpalooza, Dave Lauer, they're all free. The Michael Saylor one, you just have to click on the YouTube link when it's happening. The other two, you just have to register beforehand. No credit cards, no money, completely free. And even right here, those three are just, in a certain sense, they're indicative of the type of things that I'm trying to get done in the back end. And this is just like, we're just scraping the top of the iceberg here. I have many, irons in the fire right now. I'm waiting to hear back. I'm very, very excited. As soon as I get the confirmation on some extra interviews coming up, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the near future, we got some things cooking in the background that I think all of you are going to be very, very happy about. And you're going to notice that the theme of all of this stuff is things to help teach the ape community. And the other theme of it is doing it all 100% free, not a single cent paid. That's my goal. I just want to teach. I love doing it. I love to entertain. And the way my own little twist on it is doing it all for completely free. I don't see the Traitorpalooza in the description. If you just want to do a quick reload, it's right. It's the first link, Traitorpalooza free sign up, Dave Lauer podcast registration. It's the first two links in the description of the video. Someone, Herein, Matt is a sellout, I feel. Herein, you might be one of the... I think we should give him a gold star for the dumbest comment of the day. Herein, I hope you're listening right now. You just received the dumbest comment of the day award, a sellout. Did you just not hear everything I'm doing with my own money and time to create free, useful, valuable content for you? Yeah, kicked. What a dumbass. So stupid. That's the old saying, you can't fix stupid. Ejectocito, cuz I feel he's the sellout, as he just expressed 3 free things for the entire community. There was this thing I wanted to go over. Oh wait, what is this? Iran crude supply. What is this one? This is by Ethereum right here. It made it onto a 5 short squeeze candidates to watch. That's interesting. U.S. indices are trending lower as a rise in yields puts pressure on tech stocks. U.S. infrastructure uncertainty has weight on market sentiment. U.S. Supreme Court rejects challenge to New York tax on opioid companies. Tesla being highly discussed after they beat on their vehicle deliveries. They are being highly discussed on Wall Street bets. AMC reports 1.4 million moviegoers. AMC outside of the U.S. Interesting. AMC Entertainment, U.S. moviegoers at AMC theaters, 2.4 million during the weekend of Thursday, October 3rd. Up and away. These are some good numbers. I'm just trying to see if there's any. I mean, I know yields are going up. That's going to put pressure on tech. As tech goes down, just tech is so heavily weighted in the S&P 500. As tech sells off, it brings the Qs and also the SPY with it. Oh, SPY breaking down. So if you're playing the SPY throughout the day, one target I would watch is just this low from July 8th, where it's at right now. It's also the low from Friday. That's exactly where it bounced on Friday. If it does not bounce there, I'm watching 425, which is about $3 less than where we're at right now. If it does not catch itself at 427.75, look for the bounce like now. We're at this support level. We're at this trend line. There's a couple levels of support here. Will it catch itself? I have no clue, but that's the risk reward set off. If it could bounce right there, but if it breaks down, then I'm watching 425. Low risk in either direction and decent reward. My bias, though, and I'm always hesitant to get out my bias because people act as if I have like some special insight to the market, which I do not. My bias would be bearish just because it feels like people are somewhat panicking. You can't fix stupid. Block stupid gone. Bro, I work as a coffee tech for a living. Do not use vinegar. It will mess up with the acid contents of your brew. Use the approved cleaners. Trust me. All right, we'll do that. Joey Fate, man, I'll be with you till the end. I enjoy your show. Shout out Joey Face. I appreciate the support. Matt, what effect on AMC is the stock market crashes? Love the channel. Anna Marie from Glasgow. Not a very clever ape. So I don't think it'll be a good scenario. It could break either way. So in the event of a stock market crash, you have to ask yourself, who's going to feel the pressure first? Who's going to pull the AMC ripcord first? The people who are long on it, such as Vanguard, such as BlackRock, such as apes? Or is it going to be the shorts? It's going to be who feels the most pressure more rapidly. That party will decide which way AMC goes. If the shorts feel it first and more rapidly, stock shoots up because all the shorts have to cover and the longs will hold. But if the longs feel it first, they're going to sell, and then the shorts will just ride it down as the long positions are selling. There's no way to, in my opinion, definitively predict it because I don't know the structure of everyone's portfolio and how well they're able to handle potentially pressure from the overall market. I can't sit here and tell you it's going to be definitively a good thing or definitively a bad thing because I do see a reality in either one of those playing out. I can't sit here and say a crash is good or a crash is bad. If I'm being honest, I don't want a crash to happen. When a crash happens, people die. It is as there's less money in the market, there's less funding in government programs. People don't get health insurance. People don't get things equivalent to Meals on Wheels. Market going down means that people lose lives. I would never ever cheer for a market crash because there's greater impact beyond the financial swings. The financial swings, it's legitimately tied. Like whenever you see a stock market crash, the mortality rate in citizens across the globe goes up. It's not a good scenario. I would never ever, as a human being, I would never cheer for that. Because as you start to learn what happens when the stock market crashes, it's not a good situation. Obviously, that's very, very dark. But then there's even other not as like people. It's harder to get loans. People aren't going to college. People aren't buying homes. It's tough. It's a very tough scenario. As a human, I would never, ever, ever pray for a stock market crash. With that being said, obviously, as a human, just because you pray for something to happen, to not happen, that doesn't really, it's not going to stop it. So if you're watching right now, if it goes down, you're teetering a very strange line. You can make money on it. You can make a lot of money in a stock market crash, and maybe you view that as the best way to protect your own family and be like, hang on, I know the world's bad right now, but just because you have a skill set doesn't mean you shouldn't employ it. I'm not hoping for it, but if it does occur, there are ways to make money. So if you're listening, you can protect yourself, you could protect your family, you could protect your own financial interest. But I wouldn't be here all cheerful and gleeful about the scenario playing out. It would be bad. There is a way to make money. You can make a lot of money, but I wouldn't be smiling as it occurs. Moon Gang, keep up the good work. I've learned a lot in the last 7 months. Good luck on the new project. Shout out, Mark. Does it help to move our existing stocks to public or only new trades? Well, technically, it would help in terms of if you moved it and when you're trying to get out, that exit of a position would happen on a lit exchange. So it wouldn't happen, it wouldn't really benefit with the ones that you already own. But remember, the ones you own, one of these days you're going to have to get out. So in that way, it could be beneficial. What do you think about a put on SPY 421, then swing that up? 421. I mean, I'm watching 425, and then from there, I would watch 422 are like kind of the levels of support I would pay attention to if the current level of demand breaks down. That's a big if. It might not, but these are the levels I'm watching. 425, 422. And then from there, I could see a bounce back, but I would want to see maybe the RSI a bit lower, and I would want to see a bit demand. Like, I'm not attempting to catch a falling knife, because even when things are overextended, they can continue to sell for quite a while, with February to March of 2020 being an example. This was overextended. Right here was overextended, and it kept selling. So I would want to see a bit of like well-established demand before I go in the event that we have like a sizable percentage sell-off. But if it's just kind of like slowly grinding and then I see some green, maybe we get like kind of a valley setup where like you just have a down day, a second down day, and then an up day. Maybe I would just risk the most recent low. It's always about controlling your risk to reward paradigm. If you might be right, you might be wrong, but if you hit your risk, you just cut it, and hopefully your risk was close enough that it's not that big of a hit to your account. That's how I always think about this type of stuff. But hey, AMC coming back, looking good. Hey, Matt, can you tell my totally real girlfriend I'm busy trading today? Also has trade chest here to put me in timeout again. Thanks, Dawson. I think we could probably make that happen for you. All right. We are winding down. We're about 20 seconds away from the new hour. AMC's at 37.57. GME's at 173.84. The Russell 2000 trying to bounce, but looking weak. SPY also trying to bounce, but thus far in the day, looking weak. In terms of an Ortex, let me give you a final Ortex update. Borrowed shares has not changed, 20.44% short interest. GME is at 15.5%. Don't forget to sign up for public, pinned to the top of chat. Don't forget to sign up for Voyager if you want crypto. That code is MAT21. Right now, crypto is looking pretty good. I just want to see a base and then another leg higher. AMC turning back around. That puts a smile on my face. GME turning back around. It seems like AMC and GME, we saw this on Friday, maybe Thursday, of when it's trying to buck the trend of what's going on in the overall market. I like when it's being distinct, because that shows me that it's actually the apes showing up to buy it, because if it's not the apes, those big institution stuff, they commonly move with the overall market. So whenever I see a divergence such as what we're seeing here, the Russell selling off but AMC going up, that puts a smile on my face, because it tells me that the apes are there, they're showing up, they're buying the dip. Exactly why it puts a smile on my face. Don't forget, if you want to sign up for the Traitorpalooza thing for free, no credit card, first link in the description. If you want to sign up for my podcast discussion with Dave Lauer, which is going to be hosted by IEX, which is a lit exchange, and it's notoriously in fights with Citadel, which kind of I like that. That is the second link there. So both of those are free to sign up. You just have to register. And then don't forget, on this Friday, I will be doing an interview with TTG. We will be interviewing Michael Saylor at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, completely free. Just mark your calendar. That's what I have. That's what I have for you. That's the morning session. Thank you so much for your incredible support. I will catch you again this afternoon. I'll be posting a video. I'm going to be working with an editor, trying to get some higher quality stuff. And then I will be streaming once again for the next episode tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. at the crack of dawn. Oh, as always, thank you so much for the support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.